What are you willing to sacrifice? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I wanted to bring up this concept of sacrifice, which isn't just a full-on life thing or a philosophical thing, but it really is a business concept, and I'm gonna kind of lay this out for you, and you tell me what you think about it. Right now, we're in a time. So today is Holy Thursday, and so also known as the celebration of the Last Supper, which was a Passover Seder meal. We're also in the Passover season. What's Passover? Passover story of the Israelites attempting to escape Egypt, in the process going through a plague where many people were going to be killed. Those who were saved by the sacrifice of a lamb and the blood being spread over the doorways of those homes, saving them from the angel of death. Okay, so what's that mean? It's a story of sacrifice. It's sacrificing something and showing that you have sacrificed so that you may gain something in return. It's an interesting concept. Not only is Judaism based off of this concept over and over and over again, but Christianity, being based on Judaism, is also based on that. The story of Jesus is a story of sacrifice. It's not just a story of giving up. It's a story of giving up in order to receive something greater. And in life, you've got to do that too. And in business, I'm going to pull this back into business here. In business, it's absolutely true. But most of the time, I think a lot of us get in this frame of mind of wanting to get as much as possible for giving out as little as possible. And everything that happens in life, anything that's worthwhile, takes giving first before receiving. It's a really interesting thing. It's funny that our brains take us in the opposite direction. Maybe not all that funny. Maybe there's something deeper in that. But in reality, we need to always step back and realize that something has to be moved forward. Something has to be provided first. What are you willing to sacrifice in order to get what you're wanting out of your business? What are you willing to give up in the short run so that you may gain more in the long run? I don't think it's a bad thing to want to gain more, but it's a bad thing to want to gain more without any form of payment. Not that you need to pay at all, but putting something up front of value. Are you willing to spend more time in the short run? Are you willing to do the things that are uncomfortable for you in the short run? Are you willing to, and that's a big part of it. Most people's businesses are held back because they're not willing to do those things that are uncomfortable. They're not willing to put themselves out there. They're not willing to meet new people or grow into a new area, try something new. And it's very simply a piece of discomfort. It's not feeling good in a certain area. And because we feel uneasy, and it's not even pain most of the time. It's not a painful thing. Most of the time, it's just a feeling of, I don't want to do that because it doesn't feel good. But what are you willing to do that doesn't feel good temporarily? That's key. Temporarily, what are you willing to do in order to achieve what you know can be achieved by the action? This is something you got to know. And you got to also know what you're not willing to do. What are you not willing to give up? What are you not willing to sacrifice? It's just some ideas to contemplate, meditate on during this special season, this era of spring that we're coming into, when the sunlight's going to slowly, this year for certain, it's been slow in in the northern hemisphere, but it's bound to come. There's going to be more sunlight. That means people's moods are going to be uplifted just biologically with all the extra vitamin D and so forth. They're going to be uplifted. They're going to be moving more, and things tend to kind of get going during this time of year. It's a good idea to think, what do you need to do to take advantage of that wave that's no doubt coming? And at the same time, there's going to be bad things coming. We're looking at World War III possibly. I just heard that Russia has has basically said that they're in a hot war with the United States. Now, this isn't something that's being spread out, and it's not something that the United States has officially taken on yet. But there's crazy stuff happening in the world. The economy is crumbling. Like we mentioned before, the banks and all this other stuff. There's always going to be bad stuff that happens. There are always going to be obstacles. What you got to do is look past them and keep moving in the direction you need to, and just pay attention. Don't ignore, but at the same time, keep moving forward. Do everything you can do, and think. Just give a little thought this weekend to the sacrifices that you might be able to put out there in order to live the life you know you're meant to live. Hopefully that makes sense. That's about as deep as I'm going to get today for tonight. Hope you have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.